Hans, come on back to the bookstore.
Aw, come on now. Let's go.
We like to think that children make no distinctions between people. The children have no notion of who people are or ought to be. As children, we're curious about others. It's only as adults that we group people, put them in boxes. To open a box is to invite fear. So we judge. We hate. I sometimes wonder what it is that grows that hate inside us. What seemingly innocent thing we do as children that results in we like to say that we are born knowing how to love, but that hate must be learned. I sometimes wonder how true that statement is.
How's it coming along?
Hans, I need you at the counter.
1 second, grandfather.
You're supposed to be wearing your apron.
I know, I'm just finishing this idea.
Hans, we run a bookstore here. We sell books. We don't write them. Please. I need some money for today's activity. In the box
Yes, I know.
next to your apron.
I don't appreciate your hovering, grandfather.
You can hover when you own the store. Thank you. You be sure and write this down. You have a good afternoon, boys. I'll be back in time to help you close up.
Running errands, grandfather?
Always.
Have fun haggling, Herr Ginsburg.
Hans, you keeping an eye on this one?
I do my best, grandfather, but, well, you know how he is.
I know full well. Tonight, before you go home, I'd like you to count the books twice.
Don't worry, I always do.
Hey now.
You know we're only kidding, Wilhelm. You're a good boy. Wilhelm, how's your mother?
She's fine. Thank you, Herr Ginsburg.
And your father? Have you heard anything? Well, don't get discouraged. The government's only trying to prove a point. You give it some more time, he'll be out. You'll see, him and all the other union leaders.
Thank you, Herr Ginsburg. We're holding on.
Wilhelm, have you been eating well?
We're fine. You'd be amazed at how far beans can go. I never really liked potatoes anyway.
Well, you know, I could always...
We're fine. Thank you, Herr Ginsburg.
Well, you let me know if that changes.
I will. Herr Ginsburg. I've been practicing.
Yes, this is much, much better. You've been working on your stop cuts.
I think I'm improving.
Yes, you planned ahead on this one. You're starting to look at the whole project in advance.
Right from the start, yes, sir.
It's excellent. If only I could get this one to take the same interest in carving that you have.
I don't care much for bleeding fingers, thank you very much.
He's got you there.
Well, you can't win everybody. A suggestion.
Please, of course.
There, better.
It's the knife, isn't it?
No, it's practice, Wilhelm. But if you keep practicing, someday I'll get you a knife just like this. You know, I have an idea. We're going to just put this on display.
What?
Right here.
I don't want anybody to see that. I've gotten better. It doesn't mean I'm any good.
Well, then let this be your motivation. When you carve a better one, we'll replace this. In the meantime, it stays right there. I'm going to need my hat, Hans. It'll be dark before I get back. Mind the store, please, and try to stay out of trouble.
I'll try to make sure that Wilhelm over here doesn't accidentally burn down the store while you're away.
And I'll try to make sure Hans doesn't try and poison you so he can take it for himself.
Oh, you kidding. Frau Bucher!
So what are you doing after work?
After? You mean at some point we'll be done?
Supposedly. Grandfather has been known to let his employees quit work on time instead of keeping them late at night. You know, on occasion.
Well, I suppose if that ever happens, I'll see if there's a new Western at the cinema.
I suppose I'll join you.
I suppose I'll like that.
How are you really, Wilhelm?
Look, I don't want your grandfather to worry
You
about
know
us.
he'd be
I
happy.
know. It's just, Mother would never take another loan. Especially since we can't even pay the last one back. She's close to finding work, Hans. We'll be okay.
What are you gonna do now?
What do you mean, what am I gonna do now?
Well, you can't work in the plant. As long as your father's in jail for leading that union group, no one will want to hire you. Soon, it might even be illegal to hire you, even when he gets out.
If he gets out.
When he gets out. Besides, you don't have the money to go on school anyway.
No. It's not like I'll need to go to school anyway. Not since my uncle died.
Didn't he die years ago?
No, I mean my other uncle.
I thought you only had one.
So did I. But apparently the family disowned a very wealthy uncle many years ago.
Did you now?
Oh yes.
How rich was he?
Just about the wealthiest man in Europe.
Really?
Indeed. He even had a palace in France and a whole province of pasture land in Italy.
And why did he need a whole province of pasture land?
Well, to raise his herds of Italian thoroughbred stallions, of course.
He must have had a nice villa there.
The best. But it really pales in comparison to his estates in Tibet.
And how does his dying help your family out?
Well, since my other uncle died, that makes my mother the last living blood relative. So we're dividing it up. She gets the palace in France, and we're selling the estates in Tibet.
And I suppose you get the villa in Italy.
Well, it stands to reason, doesn't it? And what about you? What glorious French university is going to have the honor of having Hans Ginsberg as a student?
So you assume I'm leaving?
Well, of course you are. You'll never become a renowned writer and scholar if you don't. Besides, you have to leave the country if you want to go to school now.
Yes. But who says I want to become a famous poet and scholar anyway? Maybe I'd be happy staying here and managing the bookstore.
You, I'm sure.
Well, you're right. I am leaving.
I knew it. So where are you going then? Italy? France?
I was thinking about buying your Tibetan estate. And then I'd import a harem from Egypt to entertain me until I'm old and impotent.
Hello, Wilhelm.
Good afternoon, Rosalind.
Hello, Hans.
Hello, Rosalind. Thank you.
Oh, I've been looking for this.
We just got that one in.
Did you?
I can get another for you if you like.
Why would I need 2 copies of the same book?
Oh, well, no. Can I wrap that for you?
No, thank you. I'll be fine. Is there anything else in particular that I might be interested in?
I can think of a couple things interested in you.
What was that, Wilhelm?
Nothing.
This is probably the best bookshop in town, you know. I don't even bother with the others anymore.
Is that everything?
For today.
Let's see, that'll be 27 marks. Thank you. Correct change.
I always get the best service here.
Grandfather would be happy to hear that.
Thank you. Boys,
Certainly.
Excuse me. Come again.
will you be here when I do?
Only if you're lucky.
I think I am. I'll see you later.
Bye.
What? Come on now, what?
Oh, come on. You know you can't hide anything from me, right?
What things?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the fact that you're obviously in love with that
I
girl.
am not.
Oh, really? Well, maybe you wouldn't mind if I had a crack at her.
Oh, no, well, I don't think you guys would be right for each other anyway.
God, she's got you so bad.
She does not.
Fine. Keep telling yourself that. Because I'm not the one who's going to be miserable and kicking himself when she gets tired of waiting for you to work up your nerve.
She knows.
Knows what, Hans?
Oh, stop it. Has she said something to you?
She doesn't have to say anything to make it completely obvious. Well, to everybody but you, perhaps.
Really?
Find out for yourself.
Maybe I will.
Well, I think you should.
You do? Okay, I will.
Good.
But now you've got to tell me who you've got your eye on.
Excuse me?
Oh, don't pull that. I know you have your eyes on someone. Now, who is it?
I'm not telling.
Oh, yes, you are.
If I told you, she'd break it off.
So, you're already with a girl.
That's right.
Then why the big secret?
Like I said, she'd break it off if I told you. She's very important. Wants to keep it a secret.
You're too full of it for any respectable woman to put up with you anyway.
I said she was important, Hans. I said nothing about respectable.
Ah.
Hans,
Yes, Wilhelm?
what we were talking about earlier. About the future. I have a plan. Or at least I think I do.
What is it?
He didn't like to talk about it much, but Father made a lot bigger waves than people seem to think. He's not getting out, Hans. And you're right. I can't work where he did. Look, she says she's getting close, but I really don't think Mother's going to find any work. So, I've decided to join the army.
What?
It's a good opportunity. Things are really picking up for the military. I'd have a steady job, I'd have steady pay, and a place to live. That alone would help out with my mother. I'd be able to help support her while I'm away, too.
When did you start thinking about this?
A few weeks ago.
Where did this come from? I know law school's out of the question for now, but what happened to horse breeding? Wasn't it the plan to work under a breeder to pay for school so you could retire from the law and become a breeder yourself? You could still do that. Just give it a few years, you'll have enough money saved up.
And do you have a villa to get me started, Hans? Look, even if I could find a job like that, in this economy, it wouldn't be paying much. The army can give me steady pay and a roof over my head. There'll be time for dreams later.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
Well, dreams are for people who don't have to worry about the bills and have families that are taken care of. Dreams aren't going to feed my mother. I'm not giving up on them altogether. I'll still get there. I promise.
How? By becoming the Chancellor's puppet?
Chancellor's puppet?
He controls the government right now, doesn't he? He's the one who put your father in jail. Why would you want to work for him?
Oh, because Adolf Hitler is going to wake me up every day and personally hand me my orders.
He might as well be. He's got the Constitution suspended. He and the Nazis can do whatever they want right now. Do you really think your father would want you joining up with them?
My father will want me to take care of myself and my mother. Will, Hans. He isn't dead yet.
I'm sorry. But really, you think he'll be fine with you becoming one of the people that locked him up like a common criminal?
Joining the army isn't going to make me a Nazi.
Won't it? Because they're who you'll be taking orders from.
I'm not selling my soul, Hans. I'm finding work. They can't decide my politics for me.
You're really doing this.
I've thought it through. And this is what I want. Besides, I think military life would be a good fit for me, don't you?
I suppose. But Wilhelm, you can't just... What's wrong?
Hans, your grandfather's ill. He just collapsed in the street. They've
What?
taken him to your father's house.
Aren't they taking him to the hospital?
They turned us away. They wouldn't even see him. Somebody there knew we were Jewish.
Go,
Hurry.
I'll finish the book.
Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Wilhelm!
Hans, you old man. Look what you've done with the place.
Oh, it hasn't changed that much, has it? Grandfather would be rolling in his grave if he thought I'd changed anything.
Not at all. It's just been so long since I've been in here.
Almost a year now.
My God. That long.
Well, business has improved surprisingly.
Your grandfather would be proud.
I'd like to think so.
You haven't changed a bit.
No, except that people are calling me Herr Ginsburg now.
Uh-oh.
I guess it comes with the territory. Gams tells me grandfather hated it at first too.
You know it suits you in a way, don't you?
Oh, don't tell me that.
Sorry.
So, how's the army treating you?
I didn't think I'd make it past the first day.
No?
Up before dawn every morning. Worked to the bone every day. By the end of the third day, I wanted nothing more than to go home and sleep in my own bed.
How did you do it?
Well, for starters, I didn't have a choice.
That'd do it all right. What's this?
Oh, well, I brought you something.
Oh?
Well, it's not for you, it's for the store.
The store. Now I'm curious.
You know, I figured it was about time we replaced that thing.
When did you have time to do that?
In my sleep. Who cares when I did it? Here, take it.
Grandfather would have been proud of you too, Wilhelm.
I wouldn't go that far.
Of course he would. What did he always say about practice? And well, you obviously have. What are we going to do with this one?
Burn it.
Oh, it's not that bad.
After a year of practice, it certainly is.
I'm keeping it.
Fine, go ahead. I'd rather not have the reminder.
You know, Grandfather would have liked that one. It has a lot of you in it.
You know, that's what he always taught me. Always put yourself in the carving.
He said the same thing to me about writing.
It's good advice.
Keeps you sane when you're working and nothing comes together right anyway.
I know the feeling.
How do we end up here, huh? I mean, we've hardly spoken in a year. How's that possible?
It's just the way things are, I suppose.
Far cry from an illustrious French university.
A lot closer than I'll get to my villa.
At least I can still write. Even if it is in the attic at night.
Yes, the book.
You didn't read it yet, did you? I didn't figure you'd have time.
I read some of it.
And what did you think?
It was good.
Not the most enthusiastic review in the world?
Really, Hans, I thought it was good. Others might not.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing.
It's not nothing, Wilhelm. I want to know what you think.
I don't think you should publish it. That's all.
You did hate it. You don't have to soften the blow for me, Wilhelm. I can handle criticism.
Hans, I really liked the book. I did. It's just, with all the new laws they've been passing, the laws they've been talking about, I really think right now it would be best to keep it private.
What's the point in writing something like this that's going to be kept in private?
Because people might think you're trying to stir things up.
I am trying to stir things up, Wilhelm. That's the whole point of writing, isn't it? This country's headed down a bad path, and someone has to say it.
Maybe it should be someone else.
Why? Why someone else when I can say it myself?
Because people might try to make trouble for you.
You think I'd become a target? Like all those men the Chancellor had killed this summer.
No, you're not a political figure.
Would they arrest me?
I don't know. Okay, maybe they wouldn't think it was worth the trouble and they'd just leave you alone. But right now, I don't think it's worth the risk.
Things are never going to change if someone doesn't take a risk. I can always put it out under an assumed name.
Hans, I'm not kidding. Don't publish the book.
Do you even realize how much this means to me, Wilhelm? I'm not just some moon-eyed writer who wants to see his name in black and white. I had a reason for writing
I
this.
understand
No,
that,
no,
Hans.
I don't think you do. I didn't write this book for me, Wilhelm. This book isn't a long complaint that I can't go to college in my own country. I didn't write it just so I could whine about what I don't think is fair. I wrote it for them. Everyone out there who can't live their lives the way they want because of what's being done to this country. Men like grandfather, who died because a hospital wouldn't treat a man who worships differently from him. Wilhelm, we're treated like a disease in our own nation now, and it's only getting worse. But I didn't write this just for the other Jews in Germany. I wrote it for everyone who's been affected by these changes, because it isn't just us. People who try to make a positive difference in people's lives, teach people to stand up for themselves, have their freedom taken away because of it. People like your father. I wrote it for him. People like your mother who've had to suffer and struggle because someone close to them was trying to do what they thought was right. People like you who've had to give up. Put off pursuing what they really want to do with their lives. I wrote it for you, Wilhelm. I didn't write it for me. That makes me responsible to you. Responsible for making sure you get heard. Not that I get heard. You can't just turn away from that.
Well, nobody asked you to take on that responsibility. People can speak for themselves.
Sometimes they
But
can't.
I don't want anything to happen to you, too.
Two? What happened, Wilhelm? Your father.
We found out last week. They wouldn't tell us how. Only that he was gone.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I always knew he was going to die in there. I just didn't think it'd be so soon. I don't want to talk about it.
Of course. You know, maybe you're right. Maybe it is best to wait. The book isn't ready yet anyway. I'll let some of this mess from earlier this summer blow over. Then it'll be a better time to release it.
Yes.
People's heads will be clearer.
Yes, I think you're right.
Good.
Why do you keep it so dark in here? I can barely read the book titles.
Candles are cheap. It saves money. Besides, I like the way the light flutters. Don't you?
I think it would get distracting.
You get used to it.
So, what's the occasion? I assume I'm not here to discuss literature.
I'm glad you asked, my friend. I've asked you here for a very, very important reason.
And why is that?
Because this, believe it or not, my dear Wilhelm, is a celebration.
And what are we celebrating?
Try and guess.
Well, it's not my birthday, and nor is it yours.
No.
And as far as I know, your grandfather wasn't born today.
No.
It's not a holiday.
No.
Did you win some kind of award?
Ha! No!
I give up. What is it?
First, I have to give you something.
Now you're just being cruel.
Wait right there. Just 1 minute.
You know you always were a master of suspense.
Anticipation is half the pleasure of getting something, isn't it?
So you've gotten me something then.
I guess I gave it away.
Or have you?
Here, open it.
Oh, I wonder what this could be.
Now, who's the master of suspense? Open it! Hurry up!
Patience, Hans. Hans.
Grandfather would have wanted you to have it.
I can't take
No,
this.
you keep it. You were the one Grandfather taught his carvings to, so it's only appropriate that you have it, now that he's gone.
But why now? Why are you giving this to me now?
Because I was waiting for the perfect time. And this, believe it or not, is that time.
Well, why is that?
Because I have something very important to ask of you, and I won't take no for an answer.
Oh, you won't, will you?
Wilhelm, I'm getting married.
Hans, you finally did it!
She said yes. Can you believe it?
Hans, Rosalind is a lucky woman.
No. I'm the lucky one. And I want you to be there on the day I become the luckiest man on earth. So, will you be my best man, my showman?
Did you even have to ask?
I didn't want to assume.
Well, as if I'd have anything better to do.
It's like I've been walking on air. Ever since the word yes left those beautiful lips of hers.
Well then, this calls for a proper toast.
Exactly.
To old friends, new beginnings, and the luckiest man on earth.
Hear, hear.
What is it?
That is Rosalind.
My goodness, it's cold out
Have
there.
I ever told you how beautiful you look in white, my dear?
Oh, stop.
He's right, you know.
Oh, no, I can't stay. I'm just stopping by. Have you asked him yet?
Yes, and he's accepted wholeheartedly.
Here, here.
Good.
Is something wrong, my dear?
No, it's just... Never mind. It's nothing.
Are you sure nothing's wrong?
Yes, I'm sure, love.
Only if you're certain.
I'm certain. Hans, I think I left my wrap here in the back. Would you see if you can find it for me?
Of course, dearest.
Exciting times ahead, eh?
Hmm?
I said this should be exciting for a while.
Yes. Yes, it will.
So, have you chosen a bridal party yet?
No, it's too early for me. I haven't known for years who I'd pick like Hans.
Hans has known for years that I would be his best man.
You can't really expect that he'd pick anyone else, can you? I mean, the two of you've been friends since you were barely old enough to walk. That's hard to come by.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Wilhelm, before Hans gets back, I need to ask you a question.
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes, Rosalind, you are making the right decision. Trust me.
No, it's not that. Are you sure you're going to be able to do this?
What do you mean?
I mean, are you certain they'll let you be his shomer?
Who? You mean the army?
I know you want to do this for him. I don't want you to make a promise to him that you can't keep. You know the government looks down on
They
weddings
don't
for...
control everything I do, Rosalind.
Don't they? Because it certainly seems like they're trying to, and you're not the only one affected by it.
I know. You're right. Look, I know it's a possibility. With the new laws
No.
and...
Don't say anything more about it. I couldn't live with myself if I got you in trouble for speaking of it. All I want to know is if you're sure you're going to be able to stand with Hans at our wedding. Because if you can't, you need to tell him right now, before he gets his hopes up any farther.
Rosalind, nothing is going to stop me from standing at your wedding. Nothing.
Good.
Sorry it took so long. It was, of course, buried under papers.
Just like everything else back there, buried under papers.
Even the papers are covered in papers, yes.
Maybe we should go back there and have a fossil dig. Ha! So, when's the wedding going to be, and where, for that matter?
We haven't decided yet.
It doesn't matter anyway, because no matter where it is, the bride will be the most beautiful woman in the world, I will be the luckiest man in the world, and that's really all that I care about.
Oh, stop.
Never. I want the whole world to know I love you.
Hans, I have to go.
Excuse me. Come again?
Will you be here when I do?
Only if you're lucky.
I am. We're closed today. Wilhelm, how are you? Oh. Are you here in an official capacity?
No, I didn't have time to change.
It's been months, hasn't it? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Have you spoken with Hans recently?
No.
Oh. Well, were you hoping to catch him here? He isn't working today. I'm just helping him with a few of the books. He's been getting terrible headaches lately. Was there something you needed to say to him? He'll be happy to hear from you.
Actually, I'm here to speak with you.
Me?
Yes, I understand the store hasn't been doing well recently.
Things aren't so bad, really, once we... What did you just say?
I said I know the store isn't doing well.
You haven't been by for months. How could you possibly know that?
My job.
What is going on?
The book. What has Hans done with the book?
The military knows about
Has
it?
he tried to publish it?
No! He's talked to a few people. Not publishers, just people who support his message.
Damn it, Hans!
What?
I told him not to do anything with that book.
And why shouldn't he? Doesn't he have the right to be heard?
That's not the point, Rosalind. It's too dangerous for both of you.
That's why he hasn't talked to a real publisher. He's looking at other sources. There are other ways to distribute.
Just how reliable do you think these other sources are?
Wilhelm, just tell me what it is that you know.
For a few months now, I've been on loan to immigration. We've been swamped with the number of deportations. They needed more men. Recently, people have been brought in. People with rumors of a certain book written by a certain author who's been very outspoken against the government.
Has Hans's name come up specifically? Oh my God. Are they going to deport him?
No. They don't have enough evidence to suggest the book even exists.
So everything's fine.
No. They want to send Hans a message.
A message. What do you mean?
Well, if they can't hurt him,
is this saying?
Helping a Jewish doctor run a clinic isn't illegal. It's not a public hospital, so the government doesn't care. But when you are suspected of stealing from a hospital to run that clinic, it raises a few flags. Flags they can use to come after you. And when they come after you, they'll be sending Hans a message.
What do I do?
Get out.
I can do that. I'll tell Dr. Bernal that I can't help with the clinic
Of the
anymore.
country, Rosalind!
What?
I don't know how far their investigation has gone. They could be coming right now, for all I know.
So I should just leave my home?
It's best for you to leave on your own terms. Trust me.
What about the wedding, Wilhelm?
Not now.
When?
I don't know.
I knew this would happen to you.
This isn't about me, Rosalind. I'm just trying to protect you.
That's what all of it has been, isn't it? The Nazis keep saying that over and over. Everything they're doing is to protect people. But they're taking away our lives. What do they tell you, Wilhelm? You live with their propaganda every day. Can you even tell the difference anymore? Please leave. You made Hans a promise.
And I'm going to keep that promise. But please, not now.
Hans and I are getting married. Don't you dare break his heart.
Behold, you were betrothed unto me with this ring, according to the law of Moses and Israel.
And now the reading of the ketubah, the marriage contract. And thus said Hans the bridegroom, the responsibility of this marriage contract I take upon myself and my heirs after me, so that they shall be paid from the best part of my property and possessions that I have beneath the whole heaven, that which I possess now or may hereafter acquire. Even the shirt off my back shall be mortgaged to secure payment of this marriage contract made for the daughters of Israel according to the institution of our sages and blessed.
Run, David, hide!
You have used the garment legally fit to strengthen all that is stated above, and everything is valid, and it is done.
Okay, go.
Nihilism.
Everyone, keep calm and stay quiet. Come back to me.
Will you be here?
Only for Lucky.
We are.
Okay, go. Are you ready, Wilhelm?
Are you?
I think so.
Coming.
Okay.
For the last time, I ask you, what is all of
Nothing, sir, nothing.
It certainly doesn't look like nothing. Looks like a celebration.
No.
A wedding, perhaps?
No, sir, nothing like that.
What's going on here?
Apparently nothing.
Search it.
Already checked. Nothing to report.
Nothing?
Everything's clear, sir.
Then why keep questioning him?
Just trying to be thorough.
Tell me what these decorations are doing here.
I'm trying to attract customers, sir. People like the decorations.
The truth! Now!
People like the decorations. They buy more books when they like the way the store looks. That's it. Plain and simple.
Tell me why these decorations are here!
Answer him, damn it!
No, that's the truth. I'm trying to attract more business.
Give us the real answer.
Enough! We have wasted enough time here. Let's take him in for questioning.
With all due respect, sir, I don't think that's necessary. I got carried away with my questioning. Everything seems to be clear.
I meant no harm. I can take the decorations down. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Very well then. I suppose we're officially finished here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Although, there may be a lesson to be learned.
No, sir.
Yes?
Sir?
No, sir.
Yes?
No, sir. Wait.
Filthy Jew!
No.
No. Come on, soldier, go ahead. Have a little fun. My grandmother can kick harder than that. Put the boots to him. Here. That's more like it. Use this.
Please.
Our work's done here. Much better. We drink good beer tonight.
Love is a difficult thing. Love is the most wonderful, most powerful force in the world. But love is a difficult thing to know. Love makes a man do things. We fight on behalf of love. We defy on behalf of love. We defy people. We defy nations. We defy the world on behalf of love. But love is not enough. Because the things we do to keep love alive can break us. Devotion. Devotion is not enough. Devotion can't help you when the law stands in your way. When people, nations, the world stand against you. Devotion can help you hold on to love. But even that is not enough when you're thought of as less than human. Less deserving. And so, we fight. We defy. The things we do for love can frighten us. The things we ask others to do for us, those are the things we don't like to think about.
Hans, easy there.
Wilhelm, is that you?
Of course it's me. Come on, sit. Rest.
What are you doing here?
You sent me a letter. You asked me to come.
I did?
Yes! Why here? This is a public park. You're not allowed here. You know that. If someone catches us, you'll get arrested. What have you been doing, Hans?
Died.
Dying?
We're all dying. All the time. Did you ever realize that? We're all just very slowly dying.
Just don't scare me like that. Why are we here, Hans? You said this was urgent.
Nothing is urgent anymore.
Then why are we here? Come, before someone catches us.
You know, Grandfather always had a wonderful stash in that back room.
What's going on, Hans?
It'd been aging well, too.
Hans! It's good to see you again, Hans. How have you been?
You were right.
Excuse me?
I should have just left it in the drawer or burned it.
What are you talking about, Hans? The book? What happened to it?
She told me.
Who told you, Hans? Rosalind, what did she tell you?
Rosalind.
Yes, Rosalind. How is she, Hans? How is your wife?
Rosalind.
What's going on? Did something happen? What about the baby?
The stars are so beautiful tonight.
Yes, they are.
They're like little diamonds I could pluck down and make a necklace.
A necklace for Rosalind. How is she, Hans? She and the baby.
They're gone.
Gone? What do you mean, gone?
She thought we could stay. She thought we could fight.
What happened to her, Hans?
They can have me. They can have me, but they can't have her. Whether she wants it or not, they cannot have her. I wish she would have listened to you.
What do you mean?
You told her to leave.
Yes, I wanted you both to leave.
So we'd be safe.
Yes.
She started to hate you that day you told her to get out. She hated what you've become.
What I've become?
The army's changed you, Wilhelm.
Not that much.
Just enough. Just enough to do what they want. Wilhelm. My family. My family is going to America.
America? Hans, you'll be safe. All of you will be safe. When are you leaving?
They've already left.
What do you mean they've already left?
I sent them away.
Until you come for them? And you join them?
They've already left for America, Wilhelm.
What do you mean they've already left for America? Hans, what do you mean they've already left for America? Why are you still here? Why are you still here if they've already
There
left?
wasn't enough money!
Not enough money?
I used everything. Everything I had to get them away from here.
That can't be true.
I used everything.
It took that much money to send them to America?
To get them out of this country. Then get them to America.
No. No, there's gotta be something. The store. Sell the store. You won't need it in
There
America.
is no store.
What?
There is no store. No house, no store, nothing. There's nothing left, Wilhelm. I used everything I had left to make sure they'd be safe.
Everything you have left.
It's a book. They said they could help me. They believed in my message, said they could help me get the book out in secret. So I gave them money. And they took it and used it to flee the country.
No.
All I ever saw was that press they left behind.
What kind of sick bastard?
Don't! You know why they did it.
You have to go to your family, Hans.
No. I don't deserve to. None of this would have happened.
Stop it! This isn't your fault!
You stop! Stop protecting me, you... Why can't I hate you?
Is that what it's gonna take? Huh? For you to leave to America? Then hate me! Get up. Your hands are freezing. Come on. I have money, Hans.
No.
Let me help you. Let
No,
me get you to
no,
safety,
no,
Hans.
you don't understand!
One last time, let me get you
I
out
can't
of
let
here.
you do that!
What's going on down there?
Soldiers.
I'll handle this.
No. You have
No,
to go.
I can make
No,
them
no.
leave.
You
As
have
long
to
as
go.
They don't
They know,
recognize-
Wilhelm. They know. They'll kill you too if they
They're
have
not
to.
going to
You
kill
have to go.
anybody.
Go,
Let-
go, hide.
Hide.
This is the bushes. Go.
Hello!
What are you doing here this time of the night?
Go away! This is no business of yours.
It's my business if I make it my business. I know you. You're that Jew that ran the bookstore downtown. Am I right? You're not even allowed here.
Yeah, you're awfully fat to be an officer.
What did you say to me?
I said, you're awfully fat to be an officer.
You're awfully brave to be talking to me that way. Have you been drinking?
Have you, you bastard?
He asked you a question.
I can't go to school. I can't publish my work. I can't get married. I can't even protect my own family. And apparently I can't take a walk in the park. There are only two things left I can do. I can drink, and I can die. The only question is, which is better?
Go home now. I'll forget that I saw you here. Last chance. Go home. Now! Take him.
Wait, oh, boy! You can have me,
That was a mistake.
but you can't have her.
You're gonna pay for that, little Jew boy.
Oh!
No, come here.
Now you'll see how a man of the right hits.
Oh!
boy. And him.
Wait. Wait.
Well,
Let's play cards.
All right, you still owe me 5 marks.
Yeah, get it out of my winnings.
Whatever.
Who's not in?
Did you shuffle this?
All right, let's see him. Come on. How does he keep doing this?
I told you it was good, York.
Yeah, you said he was good, Joseph. You didn't say he wasn't beatable. I haven't won a single hand.
Have you ever won a hand? I mean, in your life?
Not if you plays like this. Candy, meat baby. Baby, candy.
Save it for the enemy.
There are none here. We have to make do with you.
Speaking of which, who's Mr. Joviality over there?
Hey, old timer.
Why do you call him that?
Because he's like a grandfather. He's pissed off half the time and he's grumpy the other half. Hey, old timer, you care to join us?
I'll pass.
As usual.
Quite the poker face he's got there.
Ah, yes, he's quite the sobered veteran, that one. He's got it all. The far-off, distant gaze, the sulking around base, snapping at the new recruits, the avoidance of anything that remotely resembles fun.
Yeah, and they'll probably wallop you one of these days for tormenting him like that.
Tormenting? I'm not tormenting him, I'm just having a little fun. Hey, old timer, what do you think? Fold or raise?
Will you just bet already?
How do you keep doing this?
There are 3 rules to winning at cards, my friends.
Oh, now this I've got it here.
Rule number 1, always trade up for the highest hand you can get. Rule number 2, never let the other guy see you sweat.
And rule number 3?
Know when to walk away.
Finally, maybe I can win some of my money back.
You win. Oh, no, I have got to stick around to see this.
You laugh, but I know the 4th secret to winning at cards.
Oh, and what's that?
Choose your victims wisely. Hey, old timer, why don't you come join us? I could use a bit of your money.
I'll let you piss away your money on your own.
Leave him
Thank you.
alone.
Like you've got anything better to spend your money on? I'll just take your money then.
Not likely.
Watch.
Damn broadcaster!
Special news bulletin. Earlier today, the German embassy in Paris, France, was the site of a horrific act of violence when a young Jewish man shot and wounded a military officer by the name of Ernst von Roth.
I can't
Von
believe
Roth
this.
was rushed
I
to
mean,
a
how could
hospital
this-
shortly following the shooting, but there is as yet no word on whether or not he will survive the night. The shooter, a 17-year-old Jewish boy by the name of Herschel Greenspan, was apprehended shortly following the shooting and will face criminal charges. Police suspect Von Roth was merely a target of opportunity upon discovering that the ambassador was not at the embassy. Investigators believe the shooting to be in response to the deportation of Greenspan's parents, during which their assets and property in Hanover were confiscated.
Hey,
We already heard what happened. No need to listen while he prattles on about details that aren't important.
Well, who would have thought? In the middle of Paris. Why didn't they stop the guy before he got to Valmont?
At least they caught that bastard.
They should have just shot him on sight.
Well, I doubt they were expecting a shooting at the Paris embassy.
I mean after they caught him. It's not like he deserves a trial. He's a Jew. Let God sort it out.
They'd be doing the world a service, that's for sure.
This would never have happened if we weren't so soft on those people.
Soft. I worked a rotation at the labor camp. They'd have us beat Jews with our rifles who hadn't even done anything. I wouldn't call that soft.
Well, it's better than they deserve. This bastard Greenspan thinks that he can shoot an honest German just because his mommy got deported? What kind of deranged, entitled bastard of a people think like that?
You know, Joseph, they don't deport people for nothing.
Well, maybe not. But if your parents had their business taken away and got deported, you'd want to lash out too. Look, I'm not saying what he did was right. Hardly makes him entitled.
My parents did have their business taken away. By the Jews. And that's probably why this bastard Grispan's parents got deported in the first place. Because they swept in like all the other Jews and drove everyone else out of business so they could hoard all the wealth for themselves. That is why the economy collapsed. It was the Jews grabbing every scrap of money and power they could get their hands on while the rest of us were starving without a cent.
You think one group of people put everybody else out of work? It wasn't their fault the economy collapsed. They just survived it better than most. Can we really lay all the blame at their feet because they worked hard and got lucky?
My father was out of work for 8 years because of those scum. We had to survive on whatever moldy scraps the Jews down the street threw out.
Didn't your father injure himself? I thought that's why he had to stop working.
That's not the point.
Well, what did you expect the Jews to do?
You try walking past a laughing, smiling home every day, smelling meals big enough to make a horse fat when you haven't eaten in 3 days. You give that a try for me, Joseph, and then come talk to me about the Jews. Or watch your father every day melt away to vodka because he can't deal with the pressure. Are you even loyal to this country? Because defending a bunch of filthy Jews who have ruined Germany for everybody else doesn't sound like something a loyal soldier would say. Not to me. You say the Jews were lucky? Well, I say they were stealing from honest Germans, and that wasn't enough. They had to rub our faces in it. Those Jews sat there every night eating like kings when my father didn't have enough money for food most weeks. We could barely stay in the house, much less keep the lights on.
He had money for drink.
You say something about my father? Well, anyway, Joseph, I blame them for that, yes.
Just look what they tried to do to the government. If you walk down any street, anywhere, without running into a couple of dozen Jewish lawyers, we're damned lucky we got them out of there when we did.
If it were up to me, they'd all be forced into the labor camps or hauled across the border in shackles. Let some other country deal with them. Then in 100 years, when the Jews have done the same thing there, they'll force them out just like we did. Then where will they be?
They'll be moving on to another country.
Exactly. But isn't that what they've done for hundreds of years? Gone from country to country, sucking it dry just like, I don't know, some kind of pest. Like mice maybe, eating out of your storehouse. When you've got the infestation cleaned up in one place, they just show up in another part of it.
You know they're going to keep doing it. Everybody forgets. And by the time the Jews roll back around, they've forgotten what a burden they really are.
They're more than a burden, they're parasites. But the world's becoming faster, and people don't forget as easily. This time I think we've wised up, and we'll burn them out before they got a chance to do this somewhere else.
I don't care what you do with them, as long as they're not bothering our people anymore. I say we should just send them back to whatever country they came from originally. Be done with it.
Well, they should just shoot this Grizpat down like the dog that he is.
He at least deserves a trial first.
When a rabid dog that's been digging in your garden for years kills your cat, you give it a trial before you put it down? No, you just kill it.
Well, I guess you've got a point.
You're damn right I do. Hey, Bruno, I've got a joke. What's the difference between a mule and a Jew?
I don't know. What?
There is no difference. They both smell. How about this one? Why do Jews smell so bad?
I don't know. Why?
So blind people can hate them too.
Okay, I got one for you. The captain told me this one about a week ago. Why are the Jews so good at target practice?
I don't know.
They make the best targets.
Well, that makes sense. That
Okay,
makes
how about
sense.
this one? What's the difference between a cow and a Jew?
Haven't heard this.
The cow's smart enough not to abandon its calf.
Oh, that's clever. That one's clever.
I don't get it.
Haven't you heard about those Jewish families who are sending their children off to live somewhere else?
Sick people.
It's just what I've said all along. How can you trust a people who don't even care enough about their own families to want to keep them together? What's your problem, old-timer? His day will come.
I'm sure.
Let's play cards.
Wenn ich mir was wünschen dürfte, käm ich in Verlegenheit. Was ich mir denn wünschen sollte, eine schlimme oder gute Zeit. Wenn ich mir
Hello. Just here for my cards. Hello? Not a bad plan. Yorek's full of himself. It's not the only thing he's full of, but sorry. I don't know why I'm talking to you while you're asleep. You are asleep, aren't you? Maybe I'm only brave enough while you're asleep. You're kind of intimidating, you know? I don't know how. Not that much older than me, are you? I don't think I've ever seen you drink. I haven't known you that long. I guess I really don't, though. Know you. Why tonight? I know it's none of my business, but why tonight? Ah, letter back home, huh? A lot of people drink when they write those. You know, my grandfather was in the army. He'd always say, there's 3 things that'll drive a soldier to drink: victory, defeat, and the girl back home. I don't think he ever saw combat, so I don't know where he got the first 2. Probably just something he repeated. But that third one, now there's a reason to drink right there, isn't it? Rosalind. That's a beautiful name. She must be quite the saint to put up with you. That's what York would say. For what it's worth, I think she's lucky. Rosalind. Bet you she's a girl worth drinking for. Maybe that's why you don't play cards. All your money's for her, right? You know there's some soldiers drinking for Von Roth tonight. Hoping he gets better. I guess I understand it. Something terrible happens. People feel like they have to do something. You know, this horrible thing happens. Life just keeps going. They can't take it. They have to do something. So, they drink to a stranger. You don't seem the type, though. Neither am I. I mean, I understand needing to do something, but I don't get why people do that. Drink for folks they don't know. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad for Von Roth. I hope he gets better. But I didn't know him. Don't know Grinspan either. There are soldiers out there hoping he gets shot. Or worse. Hoping he gets what's coming to him. And I guess I want that too. I mean, Von Roth. He was one of our own. He deserves justice. But Grinspan, they call him things. Awful things. They say he's worth less than shit, and we should put him down like a rabid dog. Like they aren't grieving correctly unless they tear Grinspan down. I don't know, I have a hard time feeling that much hate for someone I don't even know. Does that make me a horrible person? I mean, should I hate him more for what he did? So what do we toast? Health or justice? How about neither? I am a horrible person, aren't I? But I can't even toast a fellow soldier, hope his attacker gets shot, or... I knew a family named Grinspan once. Not the same family, I'm sure. It's a common name for Jews. Lots of Jews named Grinspan. One of them does this. That family, they gave my mother work. When my father hurt his back, they found something for her to do so that we could get by. One of them was a doctor. When Father's back got worse, they treated the pain. So he could sleep at night. So we could all sleep at night. One of them does this. You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? You should be telling me that I'm wrong. That I'm a traitor. That I'm worse than Grinspan. Maybe not. I don't know you. Rosalind. It's beautiful. I hope you made her happy.
Es ist ja ganz gleich, wen wir lieben.
Play some cards!
Oh, are you sure you don't want another drink, Bruno?
Sure, why not? Come on, old timer, play some cards with us.
Try not to break anything.
He really hates that, doesn't he?
Come on, old timer. It ought to be easy money tonight.
I said try not to break anything.
Oh, Mr. Serious over there.
Well, I doubt they'll replace this radio if you trash it like the last one.
Hey, that wasn't us.
Don't be such a spoil sport, old timer. Come on, like I said, easy money.
Oh, just because I'm drunk, you think you can beat me, is that it? I'm telling you, 3 rules, there's no beating that.
I'm sure it doesn't hurt having 6 or 7 aces up your sleeve either.
What?
You son of a bitch, I wouldn't do that.
Bruno's not a cheater, Wilhelm. He wouldn't do that.
Wouldn't he?
No, I wouldn't.
Then ask him to turn out his sleeves.
Look, old timer. Just because you avoid fun like the plague doesn't mean you gotta ruin it for the rest of us. You sit here sulking like your mother just died every day.
Why don't you just shut your mouth already?
What'd you say to me?
I told you to shut that goddamn mouth before it digs your grave.
Now listen.
No,
yeah.
you listen! You insolent little shitbrain. I know your type. You join up thinking that you're gonna get paid to be some kind of hero. That you'll get called into battle and blow away 100 of the enemy all by yourself. When all you really do is the bare minimum at base. And then spend the rest of your time pissing away your money on cards and drinking. Never bothering to think beyond what's thrown at you face value. Never asking yourself why you get the orders you do, or what they might mean.
Like you've got room to talk. You follow orders like you're a trained dog.
Never said following orders wasn't important, you son of a bitch. Do you ever listen to what people say to you? Or the words coming out of your own
Everybody
mouth?
just calm down.
All of you, stop bothering me.
At ease, soldiers. See, you're all in civilian clothes. Off duty tonight?
Yes, sir.
I suppose you've heard that Ernst von Roth died.
What? No, when was this, sir?
Berlin got the news about 2 hours ago.
Permission to speak freely, sir.
Go ahead.
Have they taken care of that bastard Jew yet?
I haven't heard. All I know is it's a sad day for Germany.
Sir,
Yes?
is there something we can do for von Roth? He deserves a gesture on our part.
You'll be happy to know that's exactly why I'm here.
What are we going to do for him, sir?
The other officers and I are arranging a protest in town tonight. We want to show Greenspan and these people exactly what we think should happen to them. Since the 4 of you are off duty, I'm ordering you to take part. We're going to send these Jews a message.
A protest, sir?
Yes, the authorities have said they will not put a stop to any protests that spring up.
But they haven't encouraged protests, sir.
No, but we're arranging one just the same.
Should we be in uniform?
Absolutely not.
Just what will we be doing at this protest, sir?
Use your imagination.
All right. I'm sending my message first class.
No guns. Find a club, a hammer. Later in the evening you can use more destructive methods.
More destructive, sir?
Use your imagination. I'm sure you'll think of something.
Well, all right. Come on, let's go get him, boys.
Last one there has hallucinated cards. Oh, right.
Yeah.
this
can you
love.
take from me? The ketubah.
Why are you doing this to us?
Orders.
What do you want now?
You're coming with me.
No, you can't! I don't want anything left! No! Take me! I
Please stop!
Why should I?
This is a house of God.
Oh, you mean your God? Well, excuse me. We forgot to knock.
None of this is right. Stop, please.
You shut
Just
up.
ignore him. You shut up too. We're just doing our jobs. What's your problem?
This is a church. It belongs to them, doesn't it? Who cares?
This may be a different house of God than yours.
I told you, shut up.
This is sacrilege on the house of the Lord. Please.
Come on, let's just go find a bookstore or something.
Why do we need a bookstore when we got books right here?
Yeah, nobody really cares about these.
Oh, no, you can't. No.
I told you to shut up. No, shut up.
No. The Torah is sacred. I won't let you.
Oh, you won't let us. Think that preacher won't let us. Ooh.
Yorick?
Yeah, come on,
No!
stop me, Rabbi.
Yeah, preacher, stop us. Don't let us.
Ah! No!
What's going on here? What do you want, old-timer? You're not supposed to be here.
Says who? The police aren't gonna stop us, old timer.
You are not supposed to be here. What? Are you gonna let the old-timer push you around? What the hell?
Oh, you're just bound and determined to ruin our fun, aren't you, old timer?
You call this fun? Hell yes, it's better than fun. It's exactly what they
For
deserve.
what?
What have they done to you? What has he done to you? Have you been asleep these past few decades? People like them hoarded all the money so the rest of us had to scrape and scrounge to get by. Because of people like them, my father...
People like your father went hungry and poor because they sat on their asses, waiting for life to hand them an answer on a platter. People like your father couldn't bear to admit that misfortune and their own laziness were the real cause of their plight. So they
Don't
came...
you talk about my father.
Why? Afraid I'll tell the truth?
You arrogant son of a bitch, we ought to turn you in for treason.
Go ahead. Try.
Where do I know you from?
You don't.
Something in your voice is very
No,
familiar.
it doesn't. You've never seen me before.
How does he know you, Rabbi?
He doesn't.
You got something to hide, old timer? What's going on?
Get out.
What?
Leave now.
I won't leave any of this
Get
to
out
you.
of here now.
If I have to die to protect
Damn
this,
it, why
I
aren't
will.
you listening to me?
What's the matter? You afraid he's gonna turn you in to save his worthless...
When we get back to base, I'm turning you in!
Shut up! This is wrong. Why can't you all just leave? This is madness.
Get
Oh!
out.
Something the matter, old timer?
Leave him. He'll get his when he gets back to base.
It can't be.
What was that?
No, it can't be you. You're dead.
Is that a threat?
No. No, you're gone.
We're not going anywhere.
Is it?
Is it what? Who are you talking
Why?
to?
Why are you here?
I think he snapped.
You know I'm not proud of what I've done. You know that. You came back to make sure I know that, didn't you?
No, we're here.
Why?
Neither of us are falling for this old timer.
Why? I could have. I could have stopped. Why? I could have stopped and you wouldn't let me.
I think he has snapped.
What's
Jesus.
the point? I'm sorry. Dear God, I'm sorry. I could have stopped it, and you wouldn't let me. You never told me. Where is she? Where's Rosalind? I was only doing what I had to do. What? What did you expect? I've been surviving! That's all I've been surviving!
Come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
No. No, it can't be you. I'm just seeing things. You're gone. Answer me! It can't be you! It can't be you! You're unreal! What the hell? Son of a bitch, run!
We like to think that the joyful moments define us. If that's true, then what has happened to the innocents? Perhaps it is the moments of happiness that mold us. Or is it the moments that we don't want to think about? Those moments when nothing makes sense. When we question everything. The world. Ourselves. Our own thoughts. Or is it those moments when we wonder, what's happened to love? When those feelings seem so distant in the past that we wonder if they were ever real. Are we made for joy or pain? Can joy ever win out over pain? Or must we retreat? Throw up walls of cold, hard stone and give in to what's left on the inside. How do I know what I believe is true? Does what I believe, what I feel, matter? How do you preserve the self in the face of those moments you don't want to think about? Are you still here? Or is there nothing but the stone? Nothing but the mask.